Bros, how's it going? Ash here. Welcome back to Gents. Keep it real. Power. You ever heard that one before? Never heard that before. So 2026, yeah, baby, that's the year of the clone. Oh wait, no. 26 is actually the little drippy bits that come after you use the bathroom. That's what 2026 is. Yeah, guys, if you look back at 2025, insane numbers of releases. 2026 so far? Not much, but I'm still gonna be trying to give you guys right now 10 of the best that have come out so far this year in 2026 and hope that more comes out before the end of the year. Now, in case you don't know what I'm talking about here, Afnan, guess how many releases they have so far this year, at least according to Fragrantica? 2. And maybe you say, oh yeah, but Afnan doesn't release that much stuff. What about French Avenue? 5. How many did they release in 2025? 74, so a slight difference. But that doesn't matter right now. What matters is what has come out this year and what is actually good. Like Spartacus by Armaf. Spartacus, that's the dude from Lazy Town. And that dude is yoked. Just like this bottle, actually, yeah. And look, this fragrance is fighting an uphill battle because, you know, the presentation has got a certain je ne sais quoi to it. Of course, it looks expensive. It looks niche. It looks high-end. Looks like something you would find in a 3 Michelin star restaurant as decoration. That's how good-looking the bottle is. Le Bernardin? Yeah, this fits right in. Or back in actuality, it looks kind of corny. It is a completely jacked, ripped version of the Le Male bottle with a little helmet cap stuck over its dome piece, then a nice little plastic piece at the bottom to let you know what the name of the fragrance is. So with this one, unfortunately, a lot of people are gonna take a look at that bottle and just go, that sucks. I don't even need to smell it. One of those deals where maybe the idea was pushed too far and somebody should have gone, that's actually kind of corny looking. But the fragrance is what actually matters, and this one is surprisingly good. Like, really surprisingly good. Basically like Le Male Elixir Absolu, I guess that's where the ripped torso comes into play, mixed with PDM's Altair. So it's got that hybrid thing going on, which I'm very much a fan of, and that's become like the go-to thing nowadays for most releases. It does it perfectly outside of the look of the whole thing. The performance is really good. It's warm, it's spicy, it has a nice amount of sweetness to it. It definitely leans more toward the JPG side of things than the PDM side of things between those two scents. So this stuff, surprisingly good. One of the better things that have come out this year, which is saying something because there have been at least like 25 new things this year. It's actually not a whole lot compared to last year at all. So Afnan, the brand that has given us 2 things this year, this is one of them, 9 p.m. Night Out. And this one is not really so much inspired by one thing or even a hybrid of things. This is more an original creation type vibe, which as long as you do it well, I'm cool with. And that one is done really, really well, assuming you don't mind a little sweetness in your scent. But like I've said before, realistically, if you're going and seeking out an Afnan 9 p.m. fragrance, you're probably okay with that. And if you're not, you got lost somewhere along the way. You took a left when you should have taken a right. You zigged when you should have zagged. It's like somebody buying a Rabanne 1 million, they get it in, spray it on, and they go, oh, what? Why is this strong and sweet? I was looking for a leather oud fragrance with some barnyard poopiness. I bought the wrong thing. Now this one also has a lot of notes, which I appreciate because I complain like a little baby who didn't get his bottle and has a dirty diaper when I see a fragrance note breakdown with 3 notes. And within that note breakdown, there's cognac, there's dragon fruit, there's lavender, there's toffee, there's tonka, there's cardamom, there's suede, just a bunch of things going on here. An absolute attention magnet, perfect for fall and winter, really good performance. And if they're only gonna give us a couple things, at least they gave us one that rules. I will say it is much easier to keep up with what brands are coming out with when they don't come out with anything, but Rasasi is actually making up for it by coming out with a new Hawass fragrance every other week. Now this next one is absolutely cheating because it technically came out in 2025, but I didn't get it until this year. So I'm gonna bend the rules a little bit so that I can work it into the video. It's this very bland looking Fawah Midnight Edition. We're going from most ostentatious bottle to least ostentatious bottle. Yeah, this one just screams stock presentation. So this is one that I could absolutely see people taking a look at and going, yeah, that looks boring and crappy. No thank you. Oh, I can taste it. It's sweet. It tastes like honey, kind of, weirdly, but that also makes sense because this smells similar to Wajan by PDM. Now you could say, well, that fragrance has been out forever, man. I don't care about nothing that smells similar to that. That's lame. Well, I appreciate your opinion, but this is still really good. So it's still gonna be in here. It has a massive burst of warm sweetness in there. That sticky kind of honey vibe that you get from Wajan is in here full force. The quality is sneaky, stupidly good when you take a look at that bottle, because again, it doesn't look like a whole heck of a lot, but this stuff rips. It smells really, really, really good, actually. And this one was basically just a throwaway purchase. So I did a big haul. I think I bought like 8 things on JOMASHOP and like 4 things on Fragflex or something, and I did a video. This is one of the things that I tossed in there, and the expectation was trash, that it was gonna be trash. And then it actually ruled. One of my better surprises of the year. I've had some good ones and bad ones. Oh, and speaking of JOMASHOP and Fragflex, you know the drill if you're shopping for clones or designers or niche. I got a bunch of codes for you that you can use. They're also in the description. You can copy and paste those anytime you shop at those stores. And you'll save yourself, depending on the store, between 5 and 10% off above their already discounted prices. And then the JOMASHOP ones, those change every quarter and you have to use those in the app, so keep that in mind. All right, next one, check it out. It's Salted Citrus. This is by Montagne. Has some notes on the front there. Citrus and sea salt. No way. And then marine accord. You're telling me in Salted Citrus that 2 of the main notes are salt and citrus? Now this one has the curse of Montagne, which is essentially, it came out and then it sold out, and as of this video, it is still sold out. 40 bucks, that was the price, 40 bucks for a 50 ml size. It is an original creation, and this one is made definitely for people who want kind of exactly what it says on the tin. Minerality, sea saltiness, an aquatic kind of citrus. The citrus is not a super sweet citrus. It's a somewhat more mature wearing aquatic summertime scent, basically. Smells great, has a nice touch of classiness to it. Not really something that you would draw like a one-to-one with anything else out there, again, because it is an original creation, much like this here. But if it does pop back into stock for a summertime scent, the stuff is great for more of like a low-key, slightly classy vibe. Check it out. Oh, whoa, what's going on here? This is Mykonos Conquer. And when I first got it in, it was very so-so. Not amazing on first spray. Yes, it is one of those ones that you're gonna have to let grow up on its own, really find itself, you know? But if you give it a couple sprays, set it to the side and let it mature, it does get much better. It smells similar to myself, Absolu. And off the top, it's not as much of a one-to-one. So myself Absolu is gonna have a little more zing to it, a little more of this like, you know, fizzy ginger in there. This one is a little bit smoother than myself Absolu and has a touch of vanilla that comes out underneath. So you get this initial little touch of sweetness that you don't get as much in the YSL. But then what happens is as it dries down, it does that whole thing where it gets a lot closer to the YSL. So it becomes a one-to-one type of replacement as it dries, whereas in the opening, side by side, you can tell that it's really similar to the myself, but it's not the same. There's like a tweak, there's a change, there's a twist. So basically Cliff's Notes opens up slightly different, dries down, trying to be the same thing. It's an extrait to parfum, so the longevity is really good. It does have a great atomizer, like so, but it does that really wide and kind of thin dispersal, so you have to make sure that you spray on a good amount with that atomizer. You know, if you do kind of like a cloud waft of it, where it just kind of settles over your skin, you won't get quite as much projection. If you're looking for myself Absolu and you want one of the better ones out there, this stuff is it. Now I love this bottle right here. This is Noire Absolu, this is Arabiyat Prestige, and this one smells similar to Forever Wanted Elixir. It is one of those ones that is off and on, a little bit difficult to find. You know, it's not always readily available, unfortunately. I don't remember where I bought mine. I think maybe this one was JOMASHOP again. And like Forever Wanted Elixir, you're gonna get that raspberry off the rip when you first spray it on, so nice freshness, a little bit of sweetness, kind of this bright pop that opens the scent up, and then as it dries down, more of that leather comes out. There is another good one that's Nusuk Gladius. That one is also Forever Wanted Elixir. That one's also really good. That one has more of a sweetness off the top. Like the raspberry is almost overloaded in that one when you first spray it on. So depending on what you're going for, that could also be a really good alternative. If you want just like the one that's more balanced overall, that's gonna be this one. Arabiyat Prestige, for the most part, nails the stuff they do. There is think one that I got in, yeah. There's one I got in that I did not really jive with. Trying to remember which one it was. It was like Fahad Gaze, I think it's called. Gaze. I think that's what it's called. This one right here, yeah, with the little like Jaguar bro on top. This one, when I first got it in, I did not really like. I think it's like Guilty Elixir. It's kind of weird. I'll revisit it, but you know, for now, that goes in the corner of shame. This one goes in the corner of power. There is no such thing. But I might make a corner of shame, actually, now that I think about it. It's like the island of misfit toys for fragrances. Regent by Maison Asrar. So this little bro right here smells similar to Vibrato, which is quite a popular fragrance. Not the exact same as Vibrato, so this is gonna be with a twist. Vibrato has more of a powdery aspect to it. So when you side by side them, that one is definitely gonna come across more mature, a little bit more fuddy-duddy. It's still a really nice fragrance. It's very expensive, so you know it should smell nice, and it does. This one, by comparison, is gonna be a little bit more citrusy, less powdery, but still maintains that grown-up kind of classy aspect to it. Really, really good stuff. Rayhaan Nocturno Elixir. So this right here smells like Bleu de Chanel exclusive. And there are a number of different BDC exclusive style scents that have come out here over the past number of months. And most of them take a little twist, a little turn. They try to do something different. Some are more successful than others. This one I found is kind of the best of all worlds. You know, it gets you very close to the BDC, only much, much cheaper. The quality is good, the versatility is good, all of that is locked in pretty well. And it doesn't do any major deviations from what makes Bleu de Chanel exclusive work for most people. And so for me, that makes it one of the better releases of the year because you kind of know what you're getting, right? It's not one of those ones where you spray it on and you're like, oh, it's like Bleu de Chanel if you made the opening really harsh and then it dried down to this and that, or you know, it's Bleu de Chanel, but you change it and make it way darker or make it way fresher. And some of those, like I said, work pretty well. But this one just kind of gives you what you're looking for. Keeps it easy, makes it where you don't have to think about it, which I'm a big fan of that. Brain power, me? No. I appreciate the thought though, yeah. Poseidon by Elixir. This one's one of their new Louis Vuitton style fragrances. And these also were really hard to find. And they popped up at JOMASHOP, then they popped away from JOMASHOP, and then they popped up on Beauty House. By the way, code for Beauty House in the description. This one smells like afternoon swim. Absolutely killer for summertime, which as of when I'm shooting this video, yeah, stuff like that, absolutely amazing. Because right now it is a drought. And that sucks. It is also crazy hot. That sucks. And even though there's a drought, it's humid. That sucks. I'm like, how does this work? No rain plus the heat plus it feels like it just rained? Yeah, it's weird. So this is gonna give you that afternoon swim citrus pop when you first spray it on. A little bit candied, so you've got that kind of sugary sweetness to an extent as well. Elixir is making its bones on basically coming out with stuff that's trying to be very, very similar to the fragrances that they are inspired by, or whatever you want to call it. Putting them into these nice little bottles that look like they could double as holy hand grenades. Then people get a hold of these bad boys, spray them on. The quality is there and the performance is there. And so they've got like a little cult following going. Sounds weird when you say that, cult following. Like you mean they do weird rituals? Oh no, you just mean that they talk about them a lot. That's not as exciting. That type of cult. Oh. Mishlah by Lattafa wrapping us up here. This one looks actually, probably could have gone with a different bottle shape, I guess, but it's all right. This one smells similar to Spice Bomb Metallic Musk with a little smattering, pattering of PDM's Castly just thrown in for good measure, for flavor. Kind of like the dish is Spice Bomb Metallic Musk, and then Castly is the salt that you put over top. It's actually really surprisingly good. This one, I've said before, it was a throwaway purchase. I was buying the 3 new Lattafa fragrances based off of London, New York, and Paris. And then this was available and I was like, well, I'll just throw that in as well, whatever. And then of those 4, this was the best one. And actually some of those other ones really sucked, weren't very good. So you should never judge a fragrance by its cover. Sometimes you throw something in there like this or like this and you think it's not gonna be anything worth writing home about, and it ends up being the best thing of the entire haul. Go figure. So there we are, guys. Some of the best ones from this year, with me sneaking in some 2025 just to fill out the list, because there really has not been a whole heck of a lot. I mean, I would say there's some obvious reasons that there aren't more fragrances coming out from the Middle East this year right now, but think about 2025 just French Avenue, okay? Liquid Run Limited Edition, the Veneno fragrances. They had all of those Genesis fragrances, the Vulcan fragrances. You had the Zenith fragrances. You had Obsidian. You had Ripple, you had the Ravine fragrances, you had Amber Empire, you had Iris Patchouli, you had more Royal Blend fragrances, you had Atlantis Extrait. Man, you just had a ton last year. So hopefully things will start to pick up into the end of the year and we can get some new stuff coming out. But for now, this is the list. Thank you guys for hanging with me. Stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. See you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys.